Hello everyone, my name is Kirana Cindevisa Safaher, and I'm excited to share with you a summary about failing and raising intonation, as well as stressed and unstressed words in the English language as explained by Jennifer. Let's dive in. Speaking a language is like singing a song. There are words, melody, and rhythm. Each language has its own music. Even if you don't speak other languages, you can recognize them by their sounds. To sounds natural and in English, listen carefully to its musical quality. English is stress time, meaning words of two or more syllables have stressed and unstressed sounds. First, let's talk about words. A stressed sound is generally louder, longer, and at a high pitch. For example, wonder, wonder, birthday, birthday, conversation, conversation. Next, let's talk about sentence. English sentences have stressed and unstressed words. We stress contains words like nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and words that carry meaning. Function words like article and prepositions are normally unstressed. We say them more softly and generally faster. Our contents words fall on the beat. Functions words are off the beat. So, why intonation is important? Because intonation is a key part of a communication in English. Now, let's talk about falling intonation. We take thousands of steps a day in various directions and levels. Similarly, our voice in English has up and down in pitch. The two most common intonation patterns are falling and rising intonation. In this lesson, we'll practice falling intonation in statements and in WH questions. Our voice falls at the end of a sentence or any time we wish to express finality and certainty. We use falling intonation for statement. For example, I love pizza. Pizza. I'm going up in pitch on pitch and then down in pitch on the. Pizza. Pizza. I have to get up a little first because if I want to come down, how can I jump down or step down if I'm already standing on the same floor? So I have to go up a little in the order to come down. I love pizza. I love pizza. We also use falling intonation in WH questions. Those are questions for information or begin with words like when, why, how, what, and for example, how did you get here? How did you get here? And what are you doing here? What are you doing here? So next, let's talk about raising intonations. Intonation pattern is important to learn because without it, you won't sound certain, you may not sound confident, and people won't know when you're finished speaking. So it's worth learning. However, there are times when we need to make our voice rise in pitch. Raising intonation is used with many questions, especially yes-no questions. Those are questions can be answered with a simple yes or no. As with falling intonations, raising intonations makes use of stepping and gliding. Phrasing intonations can express doubt, uncertainty, and incompleteness. It's not a bad thing. In fact, phrasing intonations can be a helpful signal that we need an answer. For example, do you like pizza? Do you like pizza? I need confirmations. Yes or no. Sometimes we use phrasing intonation to turn a basic statement into a question because we need confirmations. So grammatically, the sentence looks little statement. Similarly, we can repeat WH questions in raising intonations. So, in the English language, proper intonations and word stress are essentials for ensuring that your message is understood clearly. So, when speaking in English, pay attention to correct intonations and word stress. Thank you for watching my video. I hope this material has helped improve your understanding of intonations and word pronunciations in the English language. Goodbye.